Well, we've been seeing this for a little while in semiconductors, actually. We were in Asia about 6 weeks ago, and caused us to downgrade the group based on what we were hearing. And, I do think semiconductors are a pretty good indicator for what's going on more broadly because, the supply chain is pretty long. They move very fast and they touch a lot of things. The other thing you could see is Texas Instruments that reported last week was one of the companies that also talked about things slowing down as they go into the fourth quarter. They guided down 12%. So, and TI is one of those companies that's in pretty much everything. It's really hard to find a piece of electronics equipment that doesn't have TI content. And TI said everything was slowing. Every end market, every geography, there was nothing spared. And we haven't seen it from every semi company that's reported yet. Certainly you haven't seen it from every company that's reported so far in any market. But I think, unfortunately, that's a pretty good leading indicator.
We had Dr. Sue of AMD on CNBC last week, and I remember she was talking to Jim and Dave and others and Sarah. I think you were there. It was the morning interview, and she said that she used the fancy speak for we had too many chips. Basically, that inventory mismanagement or something was an issue. I can't remember her exact phrase. Right. Maybe this is an industry that just got a little irrationally exuberant. Is this a correctable inventory issue?
Well, it always is. And this is one of the problems in semiconductors on a short term when you're in a downturn because you get a little irrational, you build a little bit of inventory and you have to burn it off.
Which kills pricing. Not kills it, but it hurts.
Well, in some cases, certain segments are more influenced by price than others. But, that's certainly why it's a cyclical sector. It's always been a cyclical sector. The last time we saw something like this, in our view, was 2012. It took about 2 or 3 quarters to work its way through. But that is, the good part of the fact the semiconductor market moves so fast is that it corrects very quickly. And in that 2012 downturn, actually the stocks reached the bottom within 2 quarters, and by the second cut, you were at the bottom you can buy.
It's good perspective, Paul. I guess the big topic, what we're trying to figure out, is how much of this big slump in semis has to do with industry dynamics, and how much of it is macroeconomic concerns about tariffs and everything else happening.
I think it's a little bit of both here. It's definitely, semis have been cyclical since they first started being produced all the way back to the 70s, and even before then. So it's been a very cyclical sector. But I think you're starting to see some secondary indicators of slower momentum, not just overseas, which we've really seen, but in the U.S. growth estimates are slowing and indicators are showing some slowdown, and the company comments are weak. Just this month, the last 3 weeks, we're down 15% in the semis. We've been down that kind of, we've seen those kind of moves about 8 times going back to 1990, and it's, even though they're oversold, it's generally spelled out more weakness in the short term for the semis as well as the broader market. So getting to the point, as Chris was saying, that semis are in everything. They're the oil of the digital economy. And so when you see a slowdown there, I think it starts to show signs that there's a slowdown in the broader economy and space. So, we can't keep going at that robust pace forever. And so you have to see some sort of slowdown at points. So it's just part of the whole cyclical nature of semis and the economy overall.